Once you find what you really love to do, like, you don't even look at the time. You don't look at what day it is. You don't look at what month it is. You don't, like, because your heart is in it. You are content. You are fulfilled. Hi, sir. How you doing today?
It's something that I think a lot of people don't get to experience. And so if you haven't tried it, you should.
When you show up and you're expected to fail, you're gonna work harder. The other food truckers did not welcome us at all. Obviously, when they see like a woman behind, this is a very male-dominated industry, they take it as a joke. You know, you have a level of like, oh, you're not serious enough. I feel like I have to represent. Like, I'm not gonna be no mediocre business owner. My name is Gebre Egziabher. I am the owner of Makina Cafe, the first Ethiopian Eritrean food truck based in New York City. I started Makina in 2017. So we have our obviously like super famous injera bread. We have some tibs with the chicken and beef. The most staple vegetables that we have is misir, which is spicy red lentils. We have tikel gomen, which is cabbage with carrots and potatoes. We have gomen, collard greens, and then we have like little snacks that we serve, sambusas, that I love growing up eating. We cut the meat the day before, so when we cook it the following day, the flavor is just as good as you would have it, let's say, in a cafe in Eritrea, or you would have it in a cafe in Ethiopia. If you want spicy, you get that kick, you get that spice, but it really is bold, flavorful. It's not a dish that you forget about. Hello, how you doing? Good. I am originally from Eritrea. I was born and raised in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I grew up there until I was 14. My childhood was full of love, always around food. I would see my mom, she would always have guests over, so she needed to make something quick, like, you know, she would whip up like a tibs, and she still, her tibs is still, to this day, better than mine. Tibs is a style of cooking, and similar to stir fry. Traditionally, what you're supposed to do is onions, tomato, garlic, jalapeno, and then you throw in the beef, and then we also marinate the beef overnight. So it really holds in and locks in the flavor. And we kind of throw it in the grill. This dish is not supposed to be well done. The meat needs to be extremely tender. It is literally straight out of the grill into a customer's plate. This is with the yellow rice. They got it with the yellow rice. You want to do half and half?
Okay.
You still got time to change?
Yeah,
okay, I'll get you a half and half, no problem. The conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea came really out of nowhere. I don't think anybody was really expecting it. We were Eritreans residing in Ethiopia, so my family and I were forced to leave. My mom was visiting a friend of hers in the States. She called us and she said, guys, I can't come back. My family and I were separated from my mother for about a year and a half. There were rumors, and we're starting to hear that police was coming in the middle of the night and taking the Eritrean men from their house, and it was very terrifying. For my dad, it was a matter of life and death. So he left, he fled to Kenya, and my mom was in America. My sister and I were by ourselves after my parents left Ethiopia. I was 14 years old when all of this was happening. My dad's guardian, he told us, hey, pack your things, and we got in the car, and it was so surreal, and our friends were like, bye, have fun, you know, enjoy dinner, we'll see you tomorrow. Both my sister and I looking back in tears and knowing that like that would be the last time we would see our home. Our whole family ended up in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have not been back to Ethiopia since then. Other cultures call it samosa, we call it sambusa. The thing about sambusa is they're tiny, they're super delicious, but they're very time consuming. That's with ground beef and mixed spices and herbs. We take the tortilla, we create a triangle. Flour mixed in with water does the job. It kind of uses it as a glue, and you make like a nice little beautiful triangle, and then you throw it in the fryer. For about 5 minutes, it comes out beautifully golden crispy. We serve it with a side of Makina sauce. It's a jalapeno base. Really good, kind of clears your sinus. Thank you, buddy. I'll see you next week. Bye. We started life in Charlotte. We landed on a Saturday, and Monday morning we were in high school. If we wanted to talk to people, we had to learn English. I still speak Amharic, which is spoken in Ethiopia, and then I speak Tigrinya, which is spoken in Eritrea. There were no foreigners, there were no immigrants. You know, it wasn't easy. The first year was a blur, both for my sister and I. I think we just kind of blocked it out of our mind. I'm a Queens girl. Queens is the land of immigrants. Queens is the land of amazing food. Queens is really kind of like a small version of the world. We're heading to Masbeth, where we buy some of our spices that we may not necessarily find elsewhere. Cardamom was a big help in making sure that we maintain the same taste, we maintain the same quality. The black cardamom, the seed, though, out of the...
Oh, you need only seed?
The seed, yeah, only the seed, the 5-pounder. Let me get one more of these, and then 2 whole red lentils, and 1 split peas. It's very challenging, the fact that I can't go to a regular grocery store and be able to find those ingredients that I want. Spices such as the berbere, I get it from Washington, D.C. That's where the biggest Eritrean and Ethiopian population is in America. Yeah. It's good. Yep. Perfect. From the time that we're born, we probably start to eat injera. It's our version of a bread, pretty much. It's a little bit sour and has a spongy texture to it. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's the tastiest. So this batch, the batch that I made, it would make about 100 injera. After all the sauces kind of soaks in, the last piece of injera that's left at the bottom is the most flavorful. That part I can eat all day, every day. When you are at home, or when you usually go to restaurants, they serve you the big injera. You really have to kind of think outside the box to see how you're gonna make some of these items and some of these ingredients like food truck friendly. It would make a lot of our jobs easier if we had someone to kind of follow, but we didn't, so we kind of created our own lane. And a lot of it has been just kind of like trial and error. I went to University of South Carolina and I got my, my business degree. I went into nonprofit for a little bit. I would go in the office at 9 o'clock and by 10 o'clock, I'm like, oh my God, like 5 o'clock needs to come right now. And I just felt so empty. It started really with the thought of like a coffee truck. From coffee, it went to, well, I should add a little bit of something to eat. It finally came, all right, why don't I just do like an Eritrean/Ethiopian food truck? I wasn't sure if it was gonna work out or not, to be honest with you. You know, I worked my ass off. It's brutal, it's tough. It's tough emotionally, it's tough mentally, it's tough physically, but I wanted to do it. This is what I chose, and I don't want to stop here. It really was like word of mouth. People started to try it, and they started to get excited.
My daughter replicated your split pea.
She did?
Yes.
How did she make it?
Oh, I couldn't. She found it online, she said.
And she was able to make it?
Yes, it was spot on.
Yeah, good for her.
Gabriel? Thank you.
I come every week.
You wouldn't normally think that you could eat injera on the street from a food truck.
It's very distinctive to taste.
She's really inspiring. I mean, she's a Black woman who owns her own business and is kind of paving the way for everybody else.
I'm extremely proud to be Black, to be a woman, and to be young, and to be able to do this. And to represent the two countries where like you really bring them together. It's pretty much like the icing on the cake for me. I felt for a while that the story just ended by us leaving Ethiopia. Now is getting an opportunity after going through what we went through, the happy moments, the sad moments, the challenging moments, the like really life-threatening moments. Now I kind of get to redeem it, and I get to be able to share and talk about the things that that got me excited when I was a kid. And I was able to finally bring what I love, which is my food, my culture, and then being able to kind of put it all together. It's more than just a truck for me in regards to like being fulfilled. My cup is full, yeah.